Yo, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how the Chicago Bulls could look into trading Nikola Vucevic in this upcoming summer. Definitely make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We're about 50 subscribers away from 22,000 subscribers. Also, make sure you guys did check out all my past videos if you guys missed them. Also, leave a quick like on today's video. It takes a second and helps me out a lot. And leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about the whole Vooch contract. And there's been a lot of talk, and I know a lot of Bulls fans have really wanted the Bulls to trade him for this whole season. Also, just a quick little heads up, I really don't promote this usually, but, the end of the season is near. There's less than 20 games left for the Chicago Bulls before the NBA playoffs. If you guys want to buy some, I'd say, pretty cheap tickets, and they're always good seats, definitely check out SeatGeek and use my code InsideBulls to save $20 off your first purchase. I bought my tickets off SeatGeek. I went to a Pacers game back in February. It was a blast. Definitely check that out if you guys are trying to go to some games before the season ends, and it also obviously helps me and the channel. But either way, let's just jump right into today's video, because let's be honest, this season for the Chicago Bulls has been a roller coaster, and especially these past few games for the Chicago Bulls, they have really just struggled on the glass, defense and with fouling issues. But either way, I'd say the main topic obviously for this whole season has been injuries. And with that being said, I know Vooch has kind of been up and down this season. Thankfully, as of late, he's been more up than down. But to start the season, he just looked uncomfortable with his role on the Bulls. He dealt with a few injuries here and there. I know he did miss last night's game versus the 76ers. He also was dealing with COVID, pretty much like the whole Chicago Bulls roster did earlier this season. And this article came out from the Chicago Sun-Times a few days ago. And Vooch was obviously talking about his role with the Chicago Bulls, with him being in the big three with Zach and Demar, and I think it's obvious Vooch is the third option. And he was obviously talking about how his days in Orlando, he was the number one option. And he said he's very comfortable with his role with the Chicago Bulls. Vooch has been very professional and really good about just all the drama going on this season. And like I said earlier in today's video, his play has been up and down. And I always remember seeing this picture. I'll try to throw it up for you guys, but it's always like anytime Vooch, plays well, it's like keep Vooch. I told you not to trade Vooch. And then anytime he does play bad, Bulls fans want to trade him. And I know for this whole season, there's been a lot of Bulls fans wanting to trade Vooch. And I know about a month or two ago when Vooch was really just struggling, especially with his shooting percentages. All of his shooting percentages are down for this season. A bunch of articles came out about how the Bulls should look into trading Vooch and pretty much how the Vooch experiment failed. So before I jump into this topic and break it down, let me know below today's video if you guys want the Chicago Bulls to look into trading Vooch or maybe give him an extension in this upcoming offseason. But either way, this tweet did come out a few days ago from Chicago Bulls Talk on Twitter. And Vooch is an unrestricted free agent for the Chicago Bulls in 2023 offseason. And if you are Taurus and Mark Eversley, what would you do? And there's about 1,000 votes on this poll on Twitter, and majority of the votes wanted the Bulls to trade him for a defensive big man. And I'm going to be honest, as of right now, it's really hard to tell what's going to happen, I'd say in about 2 off seasons. But even though Vooch has really struggled this season, his play's been kind of up and down, but recently he's been playing pretty solid, I'd say. I really like Vooch. I liked the trade last season, even though we did give up 2 first-rounders and Wendell, and Wendell's been playing pretty well for the Orlando Magic. I would still do the Vooch trade 10 out of 10 times because that shows Zach LaVine that they're committed to winning. And Vooch was, I'd say, one of the bigger reasons why DeMar did come to Chicago. He was obviously recruiting him, and he's been doing it for seasons, he did say. And earlier this season, speaking of Vooch and like an extension or a possible trade, Vooch was on Sirius XM NBA radio earlier this season. Huge shout out to Daniel Greenberg. And he did tell the radio show that he didn't have any extension talks with the Chicago Bulls as of then. Obviously, this was early on in the NBA season. So it wouldn't surprise me if, say, this upcoming season, the Bulls do either trade Vooch or give him, I'd say, a cheaper extension. And with a lot of Bulls fans wanting the Bulls to trade Vooch and just a lot of Bulls fans not being happy with Vooch's play for this season, at the trade deadline, the Bulls did call the Pacers about a Domantas Sabonis trade before the Pacers obviously traded him to the Kings. And myself and our Taurus fan club both believe that Vooch was involved in that trade conversations, because I just highly doubt that the Bulls would even be able to get Sabonis without trading Vooch's contract for it. And I also could not see the Bulls playing Sabonis and Vuce together. That would just be a weird pair and fit in my opinion. I mean, look at what the Pacers just did. They just traded Sabonis because him and Miles Turner just really didn't fit well together. And especially nowadays in the NBA, you can't play two big men together at all times. So it wouldn't surprise me if the Bulls did look to shop Nikola Vucevic in this upcoming season. By this offseason, he'll be on a one-year deal for the Bulls, so obviously he'll be a potential trade asset for the Chicago Bulls, and especially who knows how the Bulls are going to perform in the NBA playoffs. Vucevic has really struggled against good teams, and he's been very inconsistent, and it doesn't help that Vucevic is getting up there in age, and by the start of next season, if Vucevic is still a Chicago Bull, he will be 32 years old in October. But the only nice thing I'd say about Vucevic is that his contract has been going down every season. You know, this season for the Bulls, he has been making about $24 million. Next season, he will be 32 years old, and his contract does go down $2 million, so he'll be making $22 million next season. And then in 2023, he will be an unrestricted free agent. And depending on how the Bulls do end up in the NBA playoffs, it wouldn't surprise me if the Bulls front office did try to trade Vucevic and make another big trade. I mean, I thought they did at the NBA trade deadline trying to get Sabonis. So it wouldn't surprise me if the Bulls did try and trade Vucevic for this upcoming summer. They did shop him for a little bit. Or I wouldn't be mad if the Bulls did, I'd say maybe extend him 1 to 2 years if he does come back on a cheaper contract. Because on the season for the Bulls, even though he has been inconsistent and such, his numbers are around his career averages as of right now. And as of right now, he is averaging, I'd say, 18 points and 12 rebounds per game. I mean, this man is still a walking double-double. Even on most nights when he is struggling, he's putting up an easily double-double for the Bulls. I am surprised that his three-point percentage is about 5 to 6% below his average. But either way, I do like Vucevic more in the post. And even though Vucevic has struggled this season at times, the Bulls are going to need him for the NBA playoffs. In the playoffs, when the game slows down and becomes more of a half-court game, you need to have a big man that can score and that can just work in the post. And I believe Vucevic is a dominant in the post when the Bulls give him the ball. That's the only problem. I feel like the Bulls are always missing him or not feeding him the ball down low. And I feel like when the Bulls do that, they're at their best, and Vucevic is at his best on the offensive and defensive end in my eyes. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about this whole Vucevic situation. You know, I made a video about maybe a week or two ago talking about Vucevic's contract, but it's definitely going to be interesting if some Vucevic trade rumors do come out for this upcoming offseason, or if the Bulls and him do have some contract extension talks. I'll definitely keep you guys updated on the whole Vucevic situation and, of course, all the rumors, news, and injury updates. I'll probably have another video out Wednesday or Thursday about a bunch of Bulls news and updates. But either way, thank you guys again for all the love on the channel. Thank you guys for watching today's video. I really do appreciate it. Have a good one.